Here's Marcus Bernowski with an interview with BIE Director Brian Drapeaux.
There's definitely a need and a place for Haskell in the world of Indian education. It has a long history and has really a great record of people who've come here and gone on to great things. And when you look at the history and what's been done and the people who've come through here, the future of Haskell, I think, is one that needs to be fought for and preserved. So as the acting director of the Bureau of Indian Education, the last 90 days that I've been the acting director, I put forth a number of initiatives that I think will help solidify and move Haskell in a direction that will increase its ability to have sustainability and relevance in the world of Indian education, as well as within the Department of Interior. I pulled a group of tribal college presidents and their staff together up in Lower Brule, South Dakota. I asked Dr. Chenault and Stephen Prue came to Lower Brule, as well as Lionel Bordeaux from Sente Gleska University and Dr. Dave Gipp from United Tribes Technical College. And in that gathering, we sat for 4 hours, and I was able to frame my vision and plans and proposals out to them to see what their initial reactions would be, and to then put forth a commitment as well as some working plans and about how to take an idea and a vision and put it on paper and then make it come to fruition. In our professional development approach on the K-12 side, we spend a lot of money hiring outside contractors to come in and bring their expertise into our classrooms. They train teachers and administrators. What I've committed to those three universities that I mentioned earlier is the opportunity to become part of that dialogue and to do more than become part of the dialogue, but to become practitioners and experts in the field in terms of providing professional development back to the K-12 operation. And so what I've done is I've taken and committed $1 million to this effort between the three universities as a pilot project. And what I hope to do then is to build out on paper, to build out the concept, to put together an operating plan, and then start this year, in fact, in building that out to allow the universities to hire staff, to be trained, to work with other professionals across the country, and then eventually to start providing professional development back to the K-12 operation. We've already started what's called a Principals Academy, Principals Leadership Academy for the K-12 operation. And what we find is that in certain parts of our organization is that, for example, on the Navajo Reservation, where we have 67 schools, which is about a third of our total K-12 operations that we have, is that the average tenure of a principal in a school is less than 2 years. So we have a lot of really young, eager, energetic principals with not a lot of experience. And so what we've done to combat that is to develop what's called a Principals Leadership Academy, where we start to create a new opportunity for young principals new to our system to help them grow as professionals and to help meet some of the needs that they find in the field. We've run our first cohort of principals through that down on the Navajo Reservation. Our second cohort will start in November. But what I'd like to do going forward is to make this a sustainable effort and to create a BIE Principal Leadership Academy. And what I've proposed to Haskell is that we house it here on campus. And we make this a training mecca for our K-12 operations. We were approached by the National Park Service, and the National Park Service has been attempting to design a program up in the Missouri River Valley area with different tribal colleges to create an interpretive program. And what this interpretive program would be essentially is a jobs path for Native students to become interpreters for the National Park Service to eventually go to work in national parks across the United States. Unless you're part of the Haskell family, you really don't hear much about the successes and the great programs that are happening here. And I want to change that. I think it's important that the director of the BIE and myself in the acting role, take an active participation role in that and really understand clearly and succinctly the programs that are happening here. So then when I go out to the K-12 operations around the country, I can talk about what's going on here, promote Haskell as an educational option for students in the K-12 operation, and then find a way to start linking the Haskell name and options to the future of children out in Indian country to come here to go to school.
This year's Halloween costumes involve vampires, nerds, and zombies. But costumes such as non-natives dressing as natives seem to bother some students. Reporter Rulin Ray Mariano interviewed 2 of our Haskell students to hear their opinions.
When people dress like us, like we used to be back in the day, like to me that's just messed up, because I mean, like, that's just, they don't know, like, because that stuff used to mean stuff, like back in history used to mean things, and now they're just like, it's like they're making our stuff like out of plastic. Like, I've watched a lot of these 1491 YouTube videos, and you know, it kind of just wearing the old chief's headdress. I mean, like, you know, I don't know, it's just discriminating. Like, you had to be a certain person to wear that stuff, you know, and like you're just like wearing any old thing to like represent us. Like, that's just messed up. And I mean, the reason I'm saying is because, you know, I grew up in the city. I grew up in like Kansas City. And I saw what, you know, I've seen people wear that stuff, and now that I've like come to Haskell and I learn about this stuff, like learn about my culture and stuff, like, you know, it's messed up, it's wrong.
For non-natives to dress up like natives for Halloween is kind of racist and discriminating due to the fact that a lot of the costumes are, like, for females a little too sexual, like the really short skirt for girls or a little tank top, and for Native American women today don't show such cleavage, and for Native American males that have perceived that they wear a war bonnet, use axes, and I don't know, use mohawks and such things.
Congratulations to the Haskell Lady Indians on making it to the MCAC Conference Tournament. Here's Stan Lovato with the story.
The Haskell Lady Indians volleyball team has made history this season by becoming the first Haskell women's volleyball team to ever make it to postseason play. Here are a few players' thoughts on making history and how they are preparing for postseason play.
I feel really excited and very blessed. Us and the ladies have been working really hard this whole season, and I'm glad that it finally fell in our favor.
It's a wonderful opportunity, experience, especially being a third year on the team and squad, and I really think we have a chance. Actually, good team.
My expectations, I think it's just a really great opportunity for me to be here. I mean, at my age, I never thought I would ever be on a team that would accomplish so much, and it's just really exciting. I'm just excited for everybody. It's more than I could have imagined.
I expect in the tournament to play the best that we've ever played here at Haskell in volleyball, that our heart is going to be in at 110%, if not more, and that we'll take home the win.
We're just expected to win. You know, that's everyone's expectations. That's what we've been working for all this time. So we're absolutely looking forward to playing hard on the court. Just the basics of bump, set, spike, and I think we can go pretty far. So I think we'll do good. As long as we keep our head in the game and we stay focused, we'll definitely win.
The Haskell Lady Indians will be playing this Friday, November 9th, against Waldorf in Bellevue, Nebraska at 1 p.m. For more information, like the Haskell Athletic page on Facebook.
That's all for the Haskell News. I'm Dawn Fuentes. Thank you for watching.
It's that door, and I've been touching all over it.
Nope.